Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the StreetText Mastermind. We like to have fun in the beginning and just hang out, but this is the time just to open up the floor and share some wins. Talk about what you love about StreetText. Maybe talk about the HomeBot integration. How has that been working recently for people? And then also another subject just to kind of keep top of mind is how has that 12 tips ad been for you? And how do you compare that to the home value ad? So anybody want to start?
Sorry, go ahead. You can start.
Give it to Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Aw, good morning. I actually don't have a win related to exactly what Marcus just mentioned, but I do have a win. I got my first StreetText listing. Yay! And I posted it. What's that?
It's awesome. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So for all of you who asked a bunch of questions, any and all, I signed up for the free trial back at the end of May. And I think it was May 27th. I was looking up the dates actually, because people were like, "What? How long did it take you? How long did it take you?" And this particular request came in on June 15th. And so what I did was I put together my CMA, and then I sent over PDFs of the documents that I include with my CMA. But I also did a bomb screen record, which has kind of an interesting story to it, because I thought I was explaining what the PDFs were, and I was. And I thought I was showing the person on the screen, and somehow it didn't record. I mean, I'm down in the corner, and the background is just like my wallpaper. It didn't pull up the PDFs. So I was looking at my PDFs and being like, and right here you'll see blah, 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 blah. And it was about maybe a 4 or 5 minute video. But then I said, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to call me or email me. And I didn't hear anything. And then on July 3rd, July 4th, pardon me, he emailed me at like 8:30 at night. And I just happened to be sitting at the table. Curiosity, okay. Just kind of like we're chatting and my husband's making dinner, and I look at my phone and I happen to see this email, and he's like, "Hey, sorry, it took me a while to get back to you. Was just wondering if you might be able to talk. We're leaving for Chicago in 2 days." And I was like, "Oh," and I immediately emailed him back saying, "Can you talk at 8 a.m. tomorrow?" Yes, we can. So we spoke the next day, and he was like, "Well, first of all, we were shocked that you replied to our email on July 4th at 8:30. And, so it was like a lot of things just sort of came together. I just happened to look at my phone then. But I was like, well, I was looking at my phone. So, and he was like, "Well, no, that just being on it, the work ethic is very impressive." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." So as we got to talking, they had been working with another realtor who really just did not impress them. As a matter of fact, the words that they used was, every time that we asked them a question, we came away from the phone call more irritated and more annoyed than when we started it. And so I think it's just the authenticity. I think it's, the communication. But one of the things that they said too was, I went back in to say, okay, why now? What made them think of me now? And it was email. I think it's email number 3 came to them on July 3rd, which is the hidden hazards of overpricing. And so I think that the drip plus, me doing what I did helped. And I didn't get I did reword the email so they sounded more like my voice, but I haven't put, any fancy pictures or anything like that. And one of the other comments that they made was, "Wow, she sure does know how to market." So signed the listing yesterday, $525,000. It's going to go on the market this weekend.
Awesome. Jennifer, where are you located, Jennifer?
I am in Westminster, Colorado, which is a little bit north of Denver.
Awesome. So that should sell pretty fast, eh?
I would hope so. I would think so. It's in good shape.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yay.
When I first started, I made a video CMA and something was wrong with my sound. And I was so excited because I was like, oh, they opened it. Oh, they watched it. Oh, they watched it 8 times. And they watched it so many times trying to figure out what was wrong with their sound. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get this one. Look at how many times they've looked at my video. They're really trying to read my lips.
They probably saw your face and they were like, she's so excited. What is this?
Jennifer, did you get your screen sharing fixed so that you can screen share?
Not yet.
Do you have a Mac?
Yes.
You have to go into your settings and you have to, I don't remember exactly where it is, but you have to go and unlock to allow BombBomb to have access to your screen.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It took me about a week to figure that out. I'm like, what's going on? I thought I bought a new laptop because I thought that my Mac was broken.
Oh
Okay.
no.
You know, it's really funny. I wonder if there was some kind of an update or something on my Mac, just because it started off with recording me and the actual CMA or what have you. And then suddenly I was like, wait, how did that happen? Because I was going back in and I was like, oh shoot, what did I say about what their value would be? And so I pulled it up to watch myself and I was like, oh.
That's too funny.
Thank you.
Use Camtasia too,
That
Jennifer.
iOS setting for privacy settings has changed a lot because whether you have an iPhone or iPad or whatever, you'll get the notices where it's asking you about letting people sit there, and some apps you have to update because Apple made them go back and redo the apps to allow people to choose the privacy opt out.
Oh, got it.
Jen, in the meantime, you can use your Camtasia too, because that's what I use. And then you can have the little bubble, and Camtasia works really good.
Okay. Okay. The most recent one that I did to Band-Aid it is, because I'm not as familiar with Camtasia, is Zoom. I did a Zoom screen share and then uploaded it to BombBomb. So I found a workaround, but it would be nice if all of the apps played together with my computer.
Yeah, I did a video after that video too, laughing at myself, you know, and then they were like, oh, this girl is real, you know, with the sound actually on. Say, oh, that was just a funny joke.
But that's the key that everybody's experiencing. It's that authenticity. It doesn't matter if you messed up. People love that. That's better to be real and just shoot it and let people experience it than not do it all or come from a really scripted place. So just keep doing it. It just takes the right person to land on it, right?
Right.
And I shared an example in here, and it's also in the announcement section of Jean Bartz and her excellent screen recording variation of the home valuation. So if anybody's looking for more examples, there are in the group as well. And if there's a little topics, #video examples, where you can see many examples there.
If you watch that BombBomb webinar back from Alicia Baruti, she also mentioned about stripping down your branding. You know, BombBomb stripped down their branding in their emails, you know, making it more personal in those emails as well, putting your personality into them. So it's not always about having your brand front and center, because, you know, that might not hit with everybody. But if you can personalize those emails, get your own touch into them, your own personality, those are going to go a lot further than just having the skeletal emails that are in there. So make sure you are customizing those. You know, I think it's Marcus, you say the RRR, raw, relatable, and real.
That's right. That's right.
So
Awesome. Keep sharing. Yeah, Leon.
I got a quick share. So, and this is funny. You hear me say, don't get more leads if you ain't worked the ones you got. I took the 12 tips, customized them, sent them out to all the clients that were in my database that have been looking and active. I got 2 referrals out of clients I'm still waiting the list. So I was with my photographer yesterday. That one will go active tomorrow. And the other one I walked through, they're painting it. So probably here in the next couple of weeks, it'll go live. But it was referrals from the 12 tips. I didn't even have an ad running, so to speak. I do have ad running, but it didn't come off the ad, but it's related to it. So, you know, I say use your tools wisely. You got the 12 tips, you've got a database. knock on wood, there's your hint. Send it to them and say, hey, I know you're looking at your home. Take a look at this. Let me know if you have any questions. I got 2 phone calls. So like I said, my one listing goes active tomorrow and the other one probably the next 2 weeks. So I'm still using it. And I always say you look at things how they are and see how else you can use them. And that's very good material that was supplied to us. So why not use it? I got almost 3,000 people in the database. Believe me, they got pinged on the 4th of July.
Well done.
Marcus, can you show
Yes.
us? Can you show us how to? That's funny because I've been using that same ad and I don't even have any idea what's on it. Like how to see the 12 tips and how to customize it. I got a listing from it. I have no idea what they read.
Troy, do you want to speak on that one? I'm just gonna put him on the spot.
It's all good. Well, if you have it running, you can actually just go to the landing page on it. I'll show you guys here.
Yeah, I'm sure it's amazing, but I would like to brand it and I just haven't taken the time to learn.
And I do believe there's a video that someone explains that in the group as well.
Yeah, I've got the Adobe and I branded mine, but you can use Canva and all that. It's easy. And it's so nice that you just go to the bottom, put your information. Because the funny one I posted in the group the other week, a realtor downloaded my stuff. So I sent them a referral invite to StreetText and I haven't heard back from them yet.
So here, this is the actual PDF itself. When they go through the ad, they can end up on this landing page after they've left their info. So they can just download that list. This is what the list looks like. It's pretty simple, and I can post this link in the in the chat here in a moment. And you can customize this. If you do, and you want to change this link, you first off would go and do it in the automated email that's connected to the ad itself. So if you go into the ad section, go right beside the ad, if you click edit funnel, that'll take you right into the funnel, and then you can edit that link in the email itself. Just for the sake of this webinar here, just to make it easy, I did post in the insider group how to do this. And how to update it on that landing page so that it goes to your custom PDF that you might brand for yourself. So that would be kind of the easiest way. What we can do is I can actually put a link to that post in the chat as well.
Thank you.
And then you can see it.
Yeah, and I think the discussion around that ad specifically is that you're not going to get an address, right? You're getting the name, phone number, and email. And so the way you present that information, or at least approach that person, should be all about making sure they received it. Even a text seems to be the preferred method there than simply picking up the phone and making the call. But I'm curious to see, I know Wendy, you got that appointment, but I want to kind of say that was more of a luck draw on that one.
That was not luck. She saw my 12 tips, whatever they said, and needed to sell. And so, yeah, she just, yeah, I mean, and that's all it takes, right? It's just giving out some good stuff. And then I was friends with one of her friends that I have no idea who it is, but she thought I knew her friend. And so that helps, but having
Social proof.
You're bound to be friends.
Juan is on here, isn't he? Juan did get a listing through this ad, the 12 tips ad. Are you on here, Juan?
I'm here.
Yeah, we want to hear your win.
I did. It was one of those, I think also a little bit of luck, but it certainly was not just she got the email and the 12 tips and that was it. And then she contacted us with her email address or her regular home address. It was more of we kind of hit her a little bit on the aggressive side with the phone calls and the emails until finally she did say that she was ready to sell. And once I had the listing appointment, I found out that she's an older person and she needed to find out from her VA lender what the necessary steps were in order to sell. And once she was comfortable with that information was when she went ahead and reached out to us. So I think it was like a period of about 4 to 5 days that she basically turned around and did give us her address. I get to list her house tomorrow. We were supposed to list it yesterday, but she wasn't feeling well enough. And we also had a storm coming this way. So, but what I have found out was when looking at whether the PDF was branded or not branded, it didn't seem to make any difference as to what engagement we were getting. So those that gave us engagement, it was like almost like a 50-50. So even though I wanted it to be branded, it didn't seem to like make a big deal. And then those people that definitely don't want to sell, they told us that they didn't want to sell. And then there were some that told us that they never punched the information into Facebook. So it must have been a ghost or something. But this one was good. It turned out to be, everything was in the right place at the right time. And I think had we not been aggressive in trying to contact her, she might have slipped through the cracks.
So Juan, how did you identify that this person was somebody that you wanted to go after, that was worth pursuing?
Well, my ISA had indicated that the first time she called, the woman did answer, but could not talk at that moment and said, can we call her back at another time? So that was the first conversation. The second time it would go to voicemail, third time voicemail. I think it was a total of like 5 times it went into voicemail. Finally, because I took some of the same automations and I took that kind of same series of steps that we have on ST, and I made up my own versions with my CRM, and she was getting those. And I think she got to the point where we were going to do the HomeBot preview, which I do a HomeBot preview with their information. When she received that information, I guess, and along with the fact that the VA lender told her that it was okay to do XYZ, was when she made the initiative to give us her address.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's basically that because she responded, like she wasn't saying no, she was just saying, let's schedule a time that works or follow up at another time. So she was obviously interested, it just wasn't the right time. Now, on that question, some people asking about the ISA, is this your internal ISA or are you using a third party ISA? Who's your ISA?
I use a third party ISA from VirtueDesk.
And then is this your process that you're following? Like who created the process that they're using to pursue your leads? And how do you do it in a way that ensures that you're not accidentally churning people who are just not ready yet, but they just need a little bit more time? Well,
I think because this ad is basically new, it's a lot of learning when to say no or when to stop, because we've had people that say stop, but some of the engagement has been, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet, but they are interested in the information that you are providing. So with what I keep hearing from a lot of the masterminds that we've been having so far, and a lot of the things that people are posting, is not necessarily giving up on that particular lead because they're not ready, but somehow figuring out ways that you can still give them some kind of value versus just sort of archiving them or placing them on something that doesn't make any sense to them. So, and there is no process that they're doing. This is just me putting things together from what I'm reading and what I'm learning from being on masterminds.
You know, Juan's spot on. It's really all about being a value proposition and providing them with things of value and not asking for anything. Wait for them to do the ask. And it is increasingly difficult to find proposition values to provide them. So the 12 steps is just a great thing because it's there and it does the job. So, I mean, I'd encourage StreetText, if there's more value propositions that you guys can come up with that we can utilize, it just kind of, it's a plug and play.
This is Adrian. In line with what Jeff was saying and also Juan, I had a response from a client saying that my 12 mistakes was such a lame list. I said, okay, I appreciate your feedback. And then I came up with, through KCM, really excellent summer 2021 market data. And she loved it. So I thought maybe I would do an ad with summer 2021 market data, which is a little bit more mathematical, if you want, or a little bit more in line with what the stats are, more than the mistakes that you make when selling your home.
Great point, Adrian. And I think that's a really good high value. If you think about from the DISC personality profile, likely the people that are going to give critical feedback are going to be high C personalities, and high C personalities love data. So, but then the I, the S, and the D personalities probably really appreciated the 12 tips. So it's, but that's a really good point. So home values, markets changed reports. Most people have no idea what's going on right now. They can see things are happening. They see that the market is moving quickly, but they don't know why, and they don't really know, is this like what direction is everything going? And so by providing those, that's a huge value prop, Jeff, to your point, that's always relevant and it's always changing, and you need an expert in the marketplace to be able to communicate it. So that's a great, really, thank you for sharing that.
And also, Juan, I take things out of KCM, and instead of publishing them as they come, I do a bomb video of the highlights, and I send it to my whole database. They're there because they're interested in real estate. You never know. I had a client list their property, and I said, why are you listing with me? And he said, because their stack of information is the highest. So just keep on touching, I think, is key.
That's correct. That's correct. Just keep on touching. Some way, shape, or form that we reach out to them at least lets them know that we're interested in helping them out.
And even call it out, say like with the home value, the 12 tips, if you're going to add the automation, say, hey, some people are really like motivated and really understand numbers. If you're one of those people, I wanted to provide you with this other list. If you're really numbers driven. So it means, hey, I'm here to serve you, whatever type of person you are. If that didn't suit your needs, here's something that might suit your needs.
And also, I had my ISA go into the StreetText conversations that we can technically see who texted us back whenever it was that we engaged with them. And I had her say, hey, it's been 6 months, because technically I've been with you guys now for 6 months, which is terrific. And I said, just text them and let them know that the market has changed, and do they want to see a new home evaluation? We can certainly provide an updated one. And we got no thanks, thank you very much, or yes, please go ahead and send. So it was another way that I was thinking of keeping what we already have sort of, percolating on the stove until we get to see somebody that says, hey, I'm ready to sell.
Well, I have a question regarding the HomeBot integration. Marcus, how does that work?
How does it work? Well, you go to the settings of your dashboard and go to integrations, and then there's a new HomeBot button there. You just click connect, and then it turns all your contacts into the ability to actually, there's a new little HomeBot icon next to the contacts that you can just click on to add into your HomeBot. So they won't send them anything, it'll just add into your HomeBot. So then you'll have to send it personally from there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody was in the group this morning saying that they couldn't tell once they integrated it what was in their HomeBot already and what wasn't by the shade of the button or something like that. I didn't even comment on that. But my big thing is, like I love it the way it is because you're not getting an incomplete lead loaded over to HomeBot before you're ready for it. So what you do is you go back, the 12 mistakes. I go in, and because if you got 2 of the 3, you can get the 3rd. So there's only a couple I haven't been able to match complete information on. So I go ahead, I get the name, I got the address, I got everything I need. Tagging is very important. So even like nurturing, whatever, whether it's best by text, phone, whatever, tag it in the StreetText platform or your CRM, whatever you use. And then once you've got the lead complete the way you want it, now you hit the button and cross load it. And then someone thought it did it automatically. You have to go into HomeBot and send it. And to me, that's what I call my fail safe, because I can go in there. That's your last chance check. I can go in there and look at the value. If it's good, I leave it. If not, I tweak it, and then I manually send it. So now I know it's gone, but this way I know what they're getting, and it's going to be a decent product. And then what I do is if it goes in the morning, later that afternoon, I look back in on the HomeBot for the activity to see who's been looking at what and how many times. Or if I do it in the evening, I look the next day. But it's nice because at that point, it's just a quick glance. And if you set it up before you send it out, where you've tagged into the StreetText and all that there, it makes it so much easier to follow along with it and see what's going on. And it just, you do get better engagement.
Yeah, the HomeBot, it just makes so much sense because every month you can have it sent your updated home value to your database that's connected to the HomeBot. And so you just have that value that's going out every single month. You can make it send it out quarterly if you want. But if you have that going out plus your drips, your follow-up's amazing. It's a really 10 out of 10 just on the outreach. And then of course, when people respond to you, replying to that quickly is going to help you a lot too. So it's just it makes so much sense. It's a great integration.
Yeah, I mean, and what would be your top integrations? I think in the States, we have to say BombBomb, we have to say HomeBot, right? There's the like non-negotiables almost. If you're in Canada, still say BombBomb. But any other integrations you guys seeing a lot of value added to StreetText? Are there any specific ones that you're loving or we should know about?
Well, one of the things also people haven't been doing or hadn't realized, I talked to somebody the other day about lenders. I don't do a lot of buyers, as far as on the StreetText platform, but I have buyers. If you're paying your money, get your money's worth. Go into HomeBot, find a lender partner to match yourself up with. I just tell the lenders, look, I've got loyalty to my clients. If they've got a lender, I'm gonna let them use that person first. If not, I'll give them to you. I gave my guy 3 refis at Christmas time, so he's loving Leon because I gave him good Christmas and probably paid for the rest of his year. But the cool thing is once you get all the bells and whistles loaded in HomeBot, it allows you to upload BombBomb videos, YouTube videos, whatever. So now the cool part is I can send a quarterly BombBomb video out, and I'm getting ready to, I'm going to put the 12 tips out. I just hadn't did it yet for those that hadn't got it. And I'm going to mass email it out. It sends out 300 or 400 a day or however many. So you're not totally overwhelmed by who's opening it, doing activity out of there. But now you can track the opens with BombBomb as well. So now you've got the automation working for you instead of against you, and it lightens your workload immensely because you're only needing one video to reach the masses. So it's, take a minute to go look at what you have before you chase a shiny new button.
Leon, I have a question for you.
Fire away, girl.
Hey, so how do you use HomeBot for buyers?
Okay, so I run a Real Geeks website, and on the buyer side, a lot of your websites will integrate into that. So the cool part with this is when I sit there and the buyers are getting something from me for a touch, the link is there for them to come into my website. So they're able to come to my website, they're searching, I get notified when they're in there for their activity. But this way, the number one rule is always get them away from Zillow, get them away from Realtor.com, get them away from anything that's going to have 50 other realtors, brokers, lenders, whoever calling them. So what you can do is for whatever system you're running, send HomeBot support a quick message telling them what you're running for your platform. If you've got a search site, go on, see if it integrates, and then go ahead, find you a lender and connect it. And if you don't have a lender running it already, just ask the HomeBot folks, they'll find you one. And it doesn't cost you nothing. So that, you know, I'm always about the free 99. So the lender's paying for you to have that feature, run with it.
So maybe you and I can sit down one day, like virtually, and then you can show me how you have linked it, because I got two very important buyers from my ad. But I mean, I have to work with them like personally. I cannot do it virtually, and I don't have time for those buyers, and they're like multi-million-dollar buyers. So if you can give me some time, mister, that'll be awesome.
I'll send you an email, get a hold of me. We can do it tomorrow morning. I've got some time.
Perfect. Tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I want to reiterate too, right now we're finding that, you know, the stat, 60% of buyers have an asset to sell. So a lot of your buyers do have to sell. And one of the fastest ways, and Logan always talks about this, to get buyers who are motivated right now is to leverage your listings. So if you have any listings, market them through StreetText with the listing ad. It's going to get you a ton of phone numbers, and you're going to find people looking actively right now, because obviously some of them want to know that they can move into that place before they sell their own. So we always forget to ask that question, but you know, if you're looking for phone numbers, like at fastest for the least amount of money spent, some of those ads get you dollar phone numbers.
Don't ask them, stalk them. When you get a buyer lead, go look them up in the MLS tax database, see if they own something. I used truepeoplesearch.com. When I find out they're a seller, I automatically started drip going. I don't even tell them. I just let it start running. They don't need to know, and they're not really aware, and they work their way back to you.
Good call. Yeah, and always social profile them when possible. Like if you got a bunch of information, go find them on Facebook and see if you can make a connection there too. I know we always talk about that, but it's important. It's important if you can make that connection there, because now you're in their newsfeed every single day. And just remember, they're there for more than an hour a day. Studies show they're on social for more than an hour a day. They're not sitting in their inboxes, right? And they're certainly, if you're going to try to humanize the process and start doing video, it's an easy way to have attention if you can connect on Facebook.
One thing that we just noticed, this is just starting to come in, at least some of the interactions that we're having with our clients, is that we have an older population here where we are in Maine, and they're not aware of a lot of the ability whenever they're selling their home, because their biggest concern is, will I be able to find something to move into? And so they're not aware of things like rent backs, and they're not aware of all those contingencies that you can have as a seller right now, being in the seller's market. So we're actually finding out we're having to do a lot of education on that end. And a lot of those people who are saying that they're just curious, it's because they're afraid. They're afraid they're not going to be able to find something to move into because of all of the news and everything that they're seeing.
Addie, I have a suggestion there. In my market, DC, Maryland, Virginia, we're going through the same thing as you are. So what I did is, depending on the dollar level, there's a whole community of older people that have been in their homes over 20, 30 years, and they want to move. They just don't want to pay premium for what they buy. So what I've done is I go find them the property to buy first, and then I'll list their property.
That makes sense.
So
You know,
there's
Marcus, that may
another
be a good-
huge value. Sorry, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jonathan, I think we're probably going to say the same thing. Is that would be a great value add for a future StreetText ad, is a list of possibilities if you are concerned about buying without selling. I know we've got, I mean, there's interim housing, there's a number of different options that a lot of people aren't aware of, but I think that may be a great value opportunity.
And in some instances, you know of properties, or you know of new projects, or you know of new construction that the client is not aware of. You know, they could be moving into a 55+ community or a condo or whatever, if only they knew it was under construction, and they don't. So I like your idea, Jeff. I think it would be great just to have a number of strategies that we use in order to secure properties for our potential sellers.
Yeah, the biggest issue that we're having here is lack of, obviously everywhere, lack of inventory. And so we're having, 20 offers on a property. And so they're not going to take anybody who has to sell a home. You're just never going to get into a property if you have a home to sell. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, Patty, we approach it a little bit differently. Is we're not making contingent offers with our buyers. We're getting their property sold with backup plans. If we can't get them into something and transition straight across, there's interim housing, there's rent backs, there's all sorts of different possibilities that will free up their minds from that. I don't want to pull the trigger on selling because I'm not going to be able to buy. So again, I would encourage that as a value proposition.
Yeah, that's what we're having to be able. We're having to educate them on that availability because they're just not aware of it at all.
And then you can also pull lists of non-occupied owners and then go directly to them, write to them. I find a property with the characteristics of my client wants. I don't look at what's on the market. I drive around, find a property, knock on the door and say, you know, this is what my client is willing to pay for this. Are you willing to sell? You'd be pleasantly surprised.
Something else that will help you guys out is probably looking at finding a lender that can actually do bridge loans.
There you go.
Right. And that'll help you write non-contingent offers. There's a program, I think NOC program, you can get certified in within a couple of days. They offer that, and you can offer the non-contingent offers. They'll carry the second loan, so they don't have to worry about double payments. So just something else. Look for tools that'll help you make that sale easier.
And the other thing is also an extended rent back, like to sellers, if they want to sit there and they're waiting to get out of there, you know, and they're buying something, you can go ahead and do that. One of the problems I'm seeing right now, stemming up the ugly head, is the United States is opening up again. Movers are going to be the premium this year because I've had deals I've had to push back because they couldn't get movers to come in. So other than the bridge loans, which have been around for a long time, just make sure you have a lender that understands it. The rent back is still an option because you've got frustrated buyers that would buy a house and be willing to rent the thing back because now they know they got a place, and it's not like they're living in the streets at the minute either. So sometimes the simple things of offering out there get it done as well.
I have exciting news, not StreetText related, that kind of pertains to this. Just one that I've now officially opened today and one that I opened a few weeks ago. My last two clients that have gone into escrow have gotten their house for under list price.
That's awesome.
Don't leave us hanging, Nicole.
Where are you located though?
Vegas, like 2 minutes away from Windy. But there's definitely a lot less multiple offers going on here. I mean, still, if you're looking in the, you know, under like 350, it's still going to be mental, but stuff that's higher priced isn't as bad. So hopefully that's a sign of what's to come. Or I'm just that awesome that I can get them for under list.
Can someone just describe quickly what a bridge loan is? Just by the term, I think I know what it is, but just somebody can quickly explain it.
It's a way you can tap the equity in your existing property and use it for the purchase of the next one. That makes sense?
Short-term, Miriam, it's a short-term loan.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I asked. That's not what I thought it was. Thanks.
Awesome. Any other questions or just wins, shares, anything you want to know about? You've got almost 80, well, you got 86 people here, so this is the perfect time to ask.
I have another question then. The home bot and the bomb to tie all those things in. I know you guys have said before that there's tutorials on each of these different sites. I'm trying to figure out how to get started to implement rather.
The beginning is signing up, and I'm being kind of funny but serious when I say that. One thing at a time. Start out with what you like best. Obviously, StreetText #1. Then I would go ahead and do the bomb thing. I'll ignore this call. I would do the bomb thing to get that up and running. and then go ahead and homebot at the same time. But they have some masterminds you can go in, and they do have some pretty good tutorial videos right on their site. So the nice thing is just take a minute where you can sit down for like, just block out an hour, quiet time, and look through the tutorials and integrate one at a time. Go ahead and get your homebot set up, and then BombBomb integrates into it so easily. You'll be like, wow, that was it. And then take a minute to play with it, experiment with it, but it's going to save you so much time. It's just unbelievable how much further reach you'll get using those.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on Leon, I mean, I learned from experiences, you got to have your systems in place before you get going. Because if you don't, you're just playing catch-up ball. You've got all these leads, and you don't know what to do with them, and you're trying to integrate them into systems you've got. Get your systems up and running, feel comfortable with them, have everything pre-recorded, have your action plans all set and ready to go, and then start feeding leads into them. Because if you wait until the leads start coming in, you're going to end up shutting down your leads and just wasting a lot of money. So if I have any pearl from my many years of wisdom, it's get the systems in place before you get going.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And we've done a lot of masterminds where we've gone through how to set up some of these things or given examples. And sometimes it's nice just to see what it looks like. And so we can get you some sort of like time points in the masterminds your way that will help you, Linda, so that you can see, okay, this is what that looks like once it's set up, or this is what that system can look like. And if you're like me, if you have a vision, like if you see somebody and you're like, oh, I love what they've set up, it's like you want to move from right here to there like that. And it can feel a little bit frustrating when you realize, oh, actually, there's like a lot of things that have to get done. So I like that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So pick one thing this week, just one thing you want to move the needle on, and see yourself execute on that one thing. I look at Wendy, and it's probably the same with Leon, Jeff, everyone else here, is that I'm like, wow, she's so good at executing on that one thing. So she always picks one project and she does it. Like you posted about cleaning your trailer a few weeks ago, and you're like, morning, you woke up early, you cleaned your trailer, you completely pulled it out. You weren't thinking about every other job probably that you wanted to get done. You were getting that one job done. And I think that's a really, really, really good way of just getting things accomplished. Pick one thing you want to move, forget about everything else, and just see it all the way through to value, as they say.
I honestly would say that if you're camera shy and not ready for the big light video, go to HomeBot first, because at least you've got your lead generating working for you. And then take a minute to sit back after that and start working with the HomeBot, or not HomeBot, but BombBomb. Because like I said, I get to the point where I don't care if I make a mistake. If it's funny, I leave it in there. We're going to have the human element, but at least the HomeBot's generating something for you in the interim period while you're bringing that online. People sometimes want to jump on every system we say in here. Now you've got 5 systems and you're 5 times as frustrated because you haven't brought them all together and you're pulled in 10 different directions. So, like I said, StreetText is the simple beginning. HomeBot would be the source of your leads, or HomeBeat, or whatever you're using. And then at that point, like I say, sit down and take a minute to get friendly with the camera, because video is here to stay, and video is the one that's going to put you well ahead of everybody else.
Well, I agree with Linda a little bit. I'm a little frustrated and floundering some because I'm new. I did go into my emails and I made it my voice. I did do the introductory video. I don't use BombBomb, I use Dub, which I understand some of the people also use. But I think one of my frustrations is that when I signed up, I assumed that I would have a coach. And I kept hearing on the webinar that I watched, my coach helped me with this, but I feel like I don't necessarily have a coach because I feel like it's a group thing. And I feel like I need more one-on-one help. And I think that's part of my frustration. But the mastermind is helping, I will say that. And I will continue to do it. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Sharon. Think of it like a football team or a soccer team. You got a coach, it's the team, but the one-on-one support is there. So if you go to the custom domain class or the custom ad class or the conversion class, that's where you're going to get more of that personal one-on-one. And then we can help walk you through those things. The mastermind is very much a group thing, but I can appreciate and understand the amount of information that there is to learn when you first start out. And it can feel very overwhelming. So
and
like,
Sharon
learning
also,
is awesome, but it's a lot to learn. So you will get it. So
and also, Sharon, you have
appreciate what
my booking link, right? So anytime you have any questions or anything, you can always book a call with me anytime, right? So
Right. And I will. It just seems like that the times that I've booked with like the ad thing, it's been a group, and I feel sorry for the people on the group because, well, the last one that I did with the ad, one person never got their chance to ask any questions, because there was only an hour long.
And the group sessions, I think, are fantastic for so many reasons. But again, I am your coach, Sharon, and anytime you need a one-on-one where the group sessions aren't available or the group sessions aren't, appropriate for the questions that you have, always book a one-on-one with me anytime. I've got decent amount of availability. So
okay,
anytime, just check your booking link that I sent you and book in anytime.
Okay.
Sharon, I just wanted to mention to you and to anyone else that I started back at, I think, the beginning of April, and the first thing I did was my coach, which is Troy, suggested this Jennifer Salter course, and initially I was overwhelmed, and there's all these different systems and so forth, but the Jennifer Salter course will kind of take you step by step, and it's really nice because you end up actually being very comfortable with video, so much so that just by using some of the things, starting off with her stuff, I was able to set up my templates, using the video, and now I'm actually even, having ideas of my own and creating videos, and it seems to be working out really well because I'm starting to get leads, and I'm actually closing some of them as well. So really, I can't say it strongly enough. That's a good starting point just to kind of get you organized. And then once you're organized, then you can sort of branch out into other things. Because if you start adding HomeBot and this and that at the beginning, you're going to really get overwhelmed, where she just takes it back and starts at the basics.
I would love to do that because the few videos that I've seen of her, I really, really like them. So if somehow somebody can put the link or whatever in the chat, that would be great.
One other thing real quick, StreetText has a StreetText Academy. I say start at the beginning. You started on the StreetText platform, so go into the Academy, and it's just a lot of shorts. And once again, the biggest investment other than the money is your time. If you go into the StreetText Academy, which is free because you're a member, and you go in there and click your way through, not only can you go through it, those that haven't been there in a while can go back and kind of do a refresher with it, because a lot of times looking in the StreetText platforms, questions that come up, I've noticed that when people ask me a question, I'll go, have you checked the StreetText Academy? I get StreetText, who, what, where, when, why. That means, okay, no. So take a minute, and somebody from StreetText, if you would, just post to the group in there for where it is. If they go in there and you guys look at it, believe me, every now and then I got to go look in there and laugh because I know there's something I missed or there's a thought I had about something I seen. And it's there. Knowledge is free. You just got to invest the time. So if you're in the StreetText platform and you haven't gone outside it yet, and you haven't looked at the Academy, slap your own hand. And I mean, and I get it. People are throwing things at you where they say, go to the Academy, go this, go that. And you're pulled in 50 directions. Start at the beginning, go to the Academy, look through there, click your way through. And then coming out of that, if you've got questions, they're easier answered because now you'll have framed the questions pertaining to the platform, and you'll have the understanding or looking for the understanding to get where you want to be.
Yeah, and I forgot to say, that's right. You have to do the StreetText Academy before you do the Jennifer Salter course. And Leon, is it that you have a course now out too?
I have, oh no, not yet. I'm too busy right now, but I have one in mind. Mine's a little different.
Is your guide out? Is your guide out?
No, mine's a little different. I actually wound up doing a lot of one-on-one with folks in StreetText, so just catch me for my time, but I'm gonna put something different together because I'm going to sit here and what I'm going to do is basically show you how to take what you got and be efficient and effective to get the return with it.
Yeah, if I can just piggyback on what Leon just said is, you can't be shy in this group. I've had a number of people, and I know that Leon has, and Wendy, and a bunch of other people have had StreetText members reach out to us on the side, and we'll take, look, I'm happy to take 10, 15, 20 minutes to walk through my systems, my processes, so that you feel more comfortable, and you know, and you may not like it, but at least you've got an option. But I mean, I would say, find somebody here that's been with StreetText for a while that you can relate to, and just
I'm gonna wait for her to wake up.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I muted somebody. It's all good.
Oh. So anyway, I mean, and I know, you know, Leon's been very generous with his time. Janky's been generous. Wendy has. So I mean, there's plenty of people out there that if you just, you know, DM them or email them and ask them if they've got 15 or 20 minutes that they can share with you. And most people here are happy to work with you and share their successes.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
I like the football team thing. That is cool because Logan's my coach too. So when I first started, he just kind of gave me the direction to go in and gave me a couple examples, and I just ran with it, you know? So, and it is very overwhelming, especially when you're in 2 weeks of free trial. Well, it was 2 weeks back then. I don't know what it is now. Sorry.
Yeah, I'd say what also helps is if you, like if there are some people in the mastermind that I guess you can kind of relate to, I just friend them. And like even Jennifer Salter, I friended her, you know, right when I started taking her course. And anytime I've had any questions, I will text her, or I even text my coach, so that, you know, it just kind of helps out, you know.
And you can also become a Wendy buyer, by the way. I asked Wendy for help a while ago, and she said, just become a buyer of mine, and then you'll get to know how I'm touching you. And I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, but the coolest thing is to look at people's examples. And I watched a lot of people's videos inside the Insider, and just said, oh wait, that kind of looks like me, I could do that, you know. And trust me, like my first 50 videos were horrid. But it just takes practice and doing it over and over again, so that you don't sound like you're reading a script, because I was reading a script actually. On the Big View app, write that down, Big View, you can type out what you want to say, and it scrolls through your phone by the camera, so it doesn't look like you're reading, it looks like you're looking at the camera. So it does work, but you need to do it like a whole bunch of times, and then pretty soon it seems natural, and you barely need to look at the words. So just practice.
So yeah, that was the Big View you said?
Yeah,
it's a Big View app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
It's an amazing cheater app. I'm a cheater.
I tossed the link in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just want to say good job to everybody here. Like, good job. It's amazing. I was just thinking about it as you were sharing there, Wendy, and just, it's true. It's like we're all on a journey, and it's so exciting to see that progression, that journey. And I just feel like you guys are being so faithful with the things that are in front of you. You're doing a great job with your clients. Hearing the stories are so encouraging, because, you know, it's like you feel so excited and confident, because you're like, oh, everybody that's here, it's like, just send all real estate clients your way, because you know they're going to be served so well. And I just think that so I'm really, like, for lack of a better word, I'm just proud of everyone here. Like, there's a lot to learn, but you're doing a really good job, and you're being really faithful with the things in front of you. So good job.
Mohini, I'm sorry, I haven't accepted your friend request. I'm at 5,000. I'm trying to, like, I went through and I deleted everybody that's not on Facebook anymore, because if you see a blank picture, it means they're not on Facebook anymore. So I deleted all of them, but then everybody came through.
Well,
so
Wendy, you gotta do some purging. Let me show you how to do it. Every day you have birthdays.
I know. I did that.
Have rapport with them.
I am really friends with 5,000 people. You should see my birthday party. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I did that. Remember, you taught me that, and I did it. I started November 2019, and I ended November 2020. I went through every single day, every single birthday, deleted the people I didn't want on, that I didn't really know, put people in groups. I got all that. And now I'm like, I don't know who to delete. So I got to work on that.
You're so popular.
So speaking of friends on Facebook, Marcus, there's a question on the friends list. Something's changed on Facebook. How do you add people to the friends lists on Facebook if you've sent a friends request?
I'm wondering the same thing. I can't find my friends list anymore on my homepage. It's gone. So I can see them if I go to my Facebook friends and I click down on the drop down menu, I can see all the lists, but it no longer has the actual friends list side in the homepage. So I don't know if they just removed that a few days ago. So we'll have to stay updated on that.
Yeah, you have to, you go to the, I guess the little house on top, and then you click on friends, and then it'll say custom lists. You just click on a custom list and there's all your lists. But the only thing is, if they haven't accepted your friendship, then you can't add them to any list.
Right.
Before.
Yeah, you used to be able to add them to a list regardless if they were friends or not, and they don't let you do that anymore. But the friends list is still there, so you still can utilize it. But once people accept your friend request, then you can put them into your list. So.
Oh, it's changed. No, I can see it now. Here, I'll give you guys a quick tour. Let me do a screen share, and then you can see how to do this. So,
is this an alternative? Is that extra list an alternative to adding like strangers to your personal page, because it's hard to add as on your business page?
Not strangers. These are going to be actual friends, the people that you actually become friends with. So, for example, if I go to home and then go to friends,
because I have a bunch of agents that are friending me, and I don't want them knowing all kinds of personal stuff about me.
So. Yeah, no, I feel you. So when you go to, so it's over here on the left now. So there's friends. So you literally have to go home first, then friends on the, it's a third tab to the left, and then custom lists is right here. And so this is where your custom lists, and you can create lists down at the bottom. So there it is. I can see, like, if I click on my StreetText clients list, it'll take me to that custom list. And here's all my StreetText peeps in here. Right.
Now, can you limit what those people see?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you go to a post,
are you talking about local realtors, Debbie?
All over.
Well, yeah, but all over, you want to be friends with everybody all over. Where aren't you gonna look for those referrals or no realtors out of the state that you can refer to and become friends with them?
Well, yeah, I have a large networking group that I work with, and then I do more of that on LinkedIn, because that's, to me, more the professional social site. So I'd rather add them and connect on LinkedIn than my Facebook page, because my Facebook page is more for my close friends and family. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
doing that.
It's you'll see many examples of people and how they're using it. And I think Facebook has changed and shifted a lot from what it used to be so much of a personal thing to now a more of an influential thing. It's the opportunity now, I think, to expand your influence wider than ever. So, but that being said, for people that are wanting to figure out like how you're going to share to a particular list, when you go to compose a message, and there's this little 3 dots down there, that's where you would click on down, and then, oh no, it would be
public.
the
public.
Go to public.
Oh,
right here. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Yeah, you're right there. So from the top, it's usually public, and then you go down, and then you have all your lists. So if you created lists, now I can be like, okay, today I'm just going to focus on posting something to all my StreetText clients, and I'm going to just focus on that. And so no one else is seeing that other than people who I put directly into that list.
So think about how awesome this is. You can have all the people that you're working with that you know who are homeowners. You can have everybody you're working with that you know are buyers. You put them in that list. Now you can create a post and it goes directly to those people. It's something they're going to be really interested in. And it's very, very powerful. And so you're like, to your point, like Facebook is really amazing because people are choosing to work with other people based on who they are. And when you get to know somebody, you get to see them, you see like they got friends, they got family, it kind of takes down the walls and those barriers a little bit. And you say, oh, you know what, I actually really like this person, I would love to work with this person. And then it's not a matter of, again, if you're going to work with them, it's just a matter of when the timing is right. And so it becomes a really, really powerful tool, as Marcus was talking about, to grow that influence. But also it's great with the list because you can put the timely information in there without, kind of like filtering your feed with a whole lot of, like, maybe you just listed a bunch of homes and you don't want, like you're posting and you're really excited and you want to share these stories, but now you can filter it to your homeowners or your buyers. And so that becomes a really powerful way. I've always said it, Facebook is a CRM, and I've been with StreetText for more than 6 years now. And this is how I've built my own relationships with you guys out there, and continue to, and there's many times where, a lot of you fall out of StreetText for a while, life gets busy, you're no longer a StreetText official member, but you come back. And that has a lot to do with me just staying in front of you and checking in. No different than the way you're doing relationships with your buyers and sellers, right? They fall out, you lose touch with them, but that's why you need an efficient system to be relational and humanize the process. And I can't think of a better way than Facebook, because they're getting to know you. And I think ultimately you got to realize it's not about just who you are as a professional, it's who you are as a person. That's what keeps them front and center. The values, your personality, they like you. They know you, they like you, they trust you.
I think I'm a little old school in the sense that I think professional and personal need to be completely separate. I mean, I know I'm not dressed up. I'm not dressed up now, but I wear dress pants and dress shirts and high heels when I work. I do not dress casual at all. I don't wear nylons. I'm not that old school, but I am like super, super like old school in some of the things that I do. So it's that whole mindset I got to get out of that. It is,
or just run with it, Debbie. Just run with it. If that's your sweet spot, if that's what you feel really comfortable in, if that's your preferred way to play, then do that. That's just run with it. And that's a good way to create those relationships in a way that you feel is really putting that image forward. So so that's how you want to do it. That's awesome.
And when I first got introduced to real estate, we weren't allowed to wear jeans to our broker, or like yoga pants that a lot of people wear here where I'm at, which blows my mind. But like wearing jeans to work, they would send us home. You cannot come to the office in jeans. And people won't take you seriously if you're not dressed seriously, was the mindset that was drilled into me with my first broker 6.5 years ago. So that's why I spent like $2,000 on a whole new wardrobe, because I was like, okay, no jeans. And I had 20 pairs of jeans and I'm like, I have nothing to wear. So I just completely went super professional, and a couple of stores got some good business from me.
And that's how you make this personable, though. You share that that's who you are. Just say, like, if you want to personalize that, share that, hey, like, I don't get it. Do anybody else agree out there? Like, is jeans proper attire to appear professional? I just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I would just cringe.
Yeah, and that just becomes your personality. That just becomes who you are. So it's about sharing who you are. Like Wendy, everyone here knows she's the Jeep girl. She likes her Jeeps. That's who she is.
And my jeans.
You're the girl. Yeah, you're the girl that's like, I don't like the jeans. Like, this is a professional business. I'm going to be professional. So it's like, you're going to find people that groove. So just be who you are. And that's how you make it personable, is you don't separate it's not separating the two. It's just being okay to show up with, this is me. Like, I can only do business this way. I'm sorry. I'm going to show up in business attire. If you want to show up in yoga pants and relax because I got this handled, I do. I'm a professional. Let's get this.
Yeah.
I think this is such a good conversation. Sorry, Debbie. I just think like it's so good because it's basically like there's two sides to this, which I love, which is sometimes it's a risk, right? Like you want to merge things, but you're like, if I do, what will happen? And so if that's on your mind, you can try that on a really small scale. Like I got a longboard behind me, and that was a question for a while, was like, is that okay? Like, should I have a longboard behind me? And then I thought, you know what? It's something I'm interested in, and I'll go longboarding. Like if you ever want to go longboarding, go with Logan. He's amazing at longboarding. But if it's like, yeah, this is part of my personality. It's something I enjoy doing. Why not just put it out there and see what happens? And I found like that so many relationships have been created as a result of being like willing to be vulnerable in that sense. But at the same time, and I think Wendy's really good at it, but at the same time, if you're a professional and like you just love that, there's a lot of people out there who are going to love that. And so you're going to find that you're going to really attract other people who really enjoy that. But at the same time, there's two things in there, which I think is really important, which is like dressing to impress is a really good skill. It's something like, when you show up on your A game, you feel like you can play your A game. Like it's when the team gets the new uniform, everybody plays better. It's just you feel great. You know what I mean? You just like start your stuff. You got this. It's those little things, even like smiling when you pick up the phone. Nobody can see you, but you hear it on the other end. Yeah, it's those little skills. So you got those drilled in really early on in your career, which is awesome. And so, yeah, so just figure it out. But at the same time, I love what Jeff wrote there as well, which is people generally, they become your friend and then they become your client, or they become your friend as they become your client. And then how much richer is life? So if you can, because you now you have relationships that are forming everywhere. And so I think that's an important part as well, is just ask yourself, like, am I seeing like a lot of really cool relationships form out of this? And I think that's just another thing to consider as well. But I love this conversation.
And I don't mean to sound judgmental. If you wear jeans or shorts or whatever, I mean, it's hot as Haiti. It's 110 here. I'm in Central California. It is like the armpit, and you feel like you're in an armpit. I'm in Fresno. It's 110 and it's yuck. And so I still dress to the nines, but like my cousin who's on the Central Coast, she sells homes on acreage and horse properties, and she wears her jeans and boots, which to me, that's relating to her client avatar, right? Well, I'd rather sell like luxury homes. So I think selling luxury homes, you got to dress like your luxury. I mean, not that I'm wearing like super name brands or anything like that, but there is a little bit of judgment, I think, from people who are hiring us as agents. There is a little bit of judgment on
there absolutely is.
First impression, right?
The thing is that you want to attract the high-end clients, right? I want to attract first-time home buyers, Jeep people, freaking people that are just moving up a little, luxury homes. I have some, but I don't like them. I would rather sell under 500,000 all day long.
And I may get there soon. I don't know. Give me a couple luxury ones and I may be like, oh my gosh.
But that's the thing. It's like, I've been in the business 17 years and I kept everything separate for the first 10. I was that person, because I was also heavily drinking at Route 91 festivals, so it wasn't like, some people like that, some people did not. But I really kicked myself for not friend requesting all of my clients from day one. Actually, I don't think Facebook was even a thing day one, but I have everybody in a past client list, and I love it because I can just go to that list and see what they're posting and engage with them, and show that I still care and I'm here, and, congratulations that your kid is graduating. I can't believe it. Are you ready to move down? Stuff like that. So, you can do amazing things being friends with your client.
I ran into a client the other day at Ross. And I was so embarrassed because I had just gotten done tanning. I had no makeup on. My hair was in the most messiest bun, and I don't like messy buns. I like them perfect. I'm a Virgo, so I'm a perfectionist. So I like them perfect and all slicked up and, laying just right on top of my head at the right angle. And she saw me in Ross. I was just exchanging some leggings for my Pilates classes. And she literally almost ran into me, and I was like, oh, hi. And she's like, hi. And I go, you probably don't recognize me because I think I look totally different than you've ever seen me before. And it was so embarrassing for me because I was like stinky from tanning and no makeup and just, blah.
I think
totally embarrassed.
I found that like I'm always in a suit when I see my clients in that. However, I found that by adding them on, like, you know, years ago onto Facebook and just posting, you know, just everyday, you know, just casual pictures and so forth. I found that it's kind of it's actually strengthened the relationship, because then they kind of see you as human, you know, and then they'll laugh at your little posts and things like that. So I found that it really helps to strengthen your relationship when you do that.
Yeah, Debbie, just this is Tony. I would be a little cautious about being careful about pigeonholing affluent clients in that really professional look. So I am in a smaller town compared to a lot of you, and not to be self-congratulatory, but come from an affluent family. I do my presentations in board shorts and flip-flops, because a lot of people, when they're seeing the suit, just always remember that can translate one of two ways. Well, she's more concerned about her looks, whereas they know I'll crawl up underneath the crawl space. They're like, Tony, there could be a problem under there. Okay, well, move away. I will crawl up underneath there and get filthy and see what's going on. And they just know that I'm out working, and it's more about their home versus how I look, if that makes sense.
And sometimes what happens is if you look too good, then they start thinking that you're making too much money, and then they want to take your commission. So
Trust me, I am not wearing like Gucci, and I don't have a Louis Vuitton. I don't have red bottoms. I don't have any of that. I am a Ross dress for less shopper, and I can make this $5.99 maxi dress look like it's from a runway. Okay, because I wear jewelry and I think I have a halfway decent appearance. So I'm not like name branding at all. So I don't think I have that kind of impression like you were saying, Tony. I just look put together. I like to be.
And I think that's
you're
cool.
Beautiful. You're beautiful, Debbie. I just want to. I love this conversation. This is hilarious to me because it is. I just do. But I just wanted to chime in, and Debbie, you're just gorgeous. But I just wanted to say that I think it's what you're comfortable with. I think we said that at the beginning. It's all about what you're comfortable with and who you're comfortable sharing with. I mean, that's completely up to you. My clients, I will say, I'm normally dressed. I dress professional every time I go out. However, I have 3 kids and they're active. And if I'm at a softball game, but then I know I have to go somewhere, you know, my softball moms are like, oh, you got to go show a house. That's cool. You look great, you know. But there's been times where I've had to leave a softball game in my jeans and everything and go see one of my clients, and they respond like, wow, you're not dressed up. You look cool. I like you in these casual clothes. You know, it's like, so I feel like it's all about what you're comfortable with. Be comfortable in your skin. I love that you dress up and you show up like that, but I also love the boy shorts because I would never do that. But I think that's awesome. Like, you know, or the boy.
When you get 58, girl, believe me, you'll do a whole lot of things that you never thought you would do. And the great thing is you won't care.
And that's it, Tony. That's the thing, right? It's like, hey, I'm showing up as me. If you like it, then let's do some business here. If you don't, then deuces.
Oh,
right?
I take my dog. It's a branding thing too. It's how you really kind of want to. I brand myself as a just very casual, hardworking. Let's keep this stress-free.
I love it.
I've grabbed a beer with a client, you know, at the end of the presentation. And, you know, just sit around and chit chat, because it is all about building the relationship versus just getting the listing.
Okay, a few of you have mentioned your age. I will be 51 this year, and I don't know. I'm old school like that, I guess. I don't know. But I have, on one occasion, it was a listing of mine just a couple months ago. We were doing the photographs. So I had the photographer there, and I knew they had a lot of stuff that needed to be moved to take the picture and then moved back. And so I warned the client, because they were like 85 years old, 89 years old. I said, I'm gonna wear clothes that I can get dirty in. And I'm gonna wear yoga pants and a t-shirt. So I don't want you to think that I'm unprofessional. They're like, no. And so I was out moving stuff, because they can't move that stuff. Like stuff in the backyard and putting the patio chairs back because they had them all tilted so they wouldn't get whatever on them. And so they were totally fine with it. I was the one that I need to get my head out of that and be more relational instead of so cut and dry professional, like my idea of professional. And I know it's a lot of me.
Here's one thing, never forget. It's the product you deliver when you show up. And even though you are part of the product, at the end result, you know, I used to laugh because I would pull up. I had when I first started selling real estate, I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'd pull up. I'm in jeans and a polo shirt, and these guys are pulling up in 750, you know, 740 Beamers and getting out. And people look at you like, God, can I afford this person? And I knew I had to come in with a presentation that was ready. It was so comical. I showed up for an equestrian estate and got there. I opened the back end of my Jeep. Wendy, you love this story. I threw my boots on, and there's it looked like a freaking party. There's like 8 realtors in front of me. And so I asked the guy, because you know, you always want to be first or last. So I said, hey, I got a quick question about the property boundaries, da 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 da, and I'm just winging it as I go, because this is like my first year or 2 in real estate. And the guy goes, well, when you get down there to the creek, there's a rock, this and that's. Okay, thank you. And he's looking at me, and that sounds funny. I'm the only black person in the middle of nowhere. But, I go out and I go walk the land, and I come back and I walk the buildings, and I time it so that I'm last. Not a single one of those guys walked out anywhere. And it was so funny because one guy, when I was sitting there talking to the sellers, they're laughing so hard. They said, no, the minute you walked off, we figured if you had a good presentation like your attitude was, the listing's yours. The guy didn't even want to step off into the dirt to get his boots dirty. So I get it. You dress to your crowd. I wear a polo when I show up, jeans. If I'm doing something else, I'll throw on some Dockers or something. But when I get there, I want them to see me, not see through me. And I've learned at the end of the day, that's why your presentation has to be good, because I've had people that showed up with the Rolex and looked a whole lot better. One guy said right over the phone, if you're wearing a suit, don't show up. Because, you know, like where I'm at, you got Microsoft folks, you got people that came from, call it humble beginnings, or didn't have $1 million to begin with. And so when you say you're going to relate to somebody or have a relationship with somebody, I sat down with a Microsoft engineer. This guy had me laughing. He had $2 million houses he's selling to buy a $3 million house. And he turned around, and he's from like Ohio. So then me and him start razzing each other because I'm a Hawkeye, you're a Buckeye, it's on. And we were laughing, but just sometimes, you know, we try to stalk them as best we can. But even like, you know, like Debbie, for example, you go look them up on LinkedIn or whatever, they only have their professional side. You don't know the personal. So you really don't know what you're getting till you get there. And once I got there, me and him, we were laughing about stuff. People looked at us funny, like, what the hell are they talking about? But we knew because it was a Midwest thing. So, you know, I get it. Show up dressed to the clientele you're doing, but never forget, you bring that presentation, get that relationship, and let the rest happen.
Yeah. And I warm up. I'm not a cold person. I mean, just because I like to dress a certain way, I'm not a cold person. I do warm up to people, and I'm actually really a lot of fun. Probably more fun than I should be, but I'm a perfectionist, so my presentation is on point and everything is.
See, because you've got military where you're at in Fresno, you got the naval base
in Lemoore. Yeah,
a great tip.
Drive.
A great tip I remember hearing this once that made sense to me is that look at, like, if you're ever like wondering how to dress, look at the people that you're going to be meeting, look at how they dress, and then just the nicest version of that. And so if everyone's wearing polos, just wear a nice polo. If everyone's wearing suits, get a really nice suit jacket. If everyone's wearing t-shirts, just get a really nice t-shirt. And if you feel more comfortable wearing a suit jacket, just throw a suit jacket over a t-shirt. It looks great. But here's something I think is really like worth saying, which is, you know, people are not quite as judgmental as we think they are sometimes. If you look at a photograph and you're in the photograph, where do you look when you look at that photograph? How do you judge if it's a great photograph? Most people look at themselves. If everyone else in the photograph is looking at themselves, but when you show the photograph to friends, who are they looking at? They're looking at the photograph as a whole. They just see the whole photograph. And so, like, I think it's really like, you know, sometimes we'll like project how we think someone else is thinking, but it's not even necessarily true. So we'll never know what someone else is thinking unless we actually ask them. And 99.99999% of time, it's never even crossed their mind. And so just remember that we project what we feel, not what they think. And so it's really important. It's like a really, really simple thing. So dress to impress, dress what you feel really comfortable in, because you'll project that. And so, yeah, so it's just good to remember that stuff. But yeah, I'm loving this combo. This is a mastermind first for us.
I was supposed to be on another Zoom about 25 minutes ago. Sorry. You probably wish I would have left.
No, Deborah, we love
you,
this.
You say out loud what some people think and don't get out. So this is what's so great about the group is people say things others might have thought just don't want to get out there. And so they get answers without having to ask the question. And that's the true purpose behind a mastermind.
I wish I could, in my mind, dress more comfortably. But I don't know. I'm just, it's kind of my old school mentality in some ways. I'm very old school in some things in my life, and then I'm very like so not old school in other ways. So I need to balance them.
Where I got over my whole dress thing, when I was growing up, we owned a detail shop at a car auction, and my grandfather and my uncle ran the car auction in Mason City, Iowa, and up in Minneapolis. And so, which, as you know, working for your parents sucks, because working for my dad was a pain in the butt, and I didn't realize how he made me save money until after I joined the military. But this guy used to come, had a truck that I would not ride across the lot in because I thought I'd go through the floorboards, had a smelly cigar, and nicest guy. And I was raised, always respect your elders and treat everybody nice. So my grandfather had a guy that bought him a new Cadillac every year. And I didn't know it was this guy. And so like this goes on for 3 or 4 years. The guy passed away. And when he passed away, it took them guys like 4 or 5 years to sell his estate because he'd come buy cars, go, I'll have someone come get him next week. He was buying cars in Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska. The dude was a multimillionaire. And when my grandfather said, yeah, such passed away, I go, who? And he said, the guy, I go, the one with the truck that, yeah. And he says, he's a multimillionaire. He had like serious properties as well as car lots and everything else. So I really, really drove home the point learning, never judge a person by the cover. And that's why even the funniest thing is when the guy told me on the phone, if you're in a suit, don't show up. That flashed me back to my roots and beginnings that I just take them as they are because that's how they want them to take me. But I guarantee when I show up, that presentation is going to be spot on.
No, it's true. You can't necessarily judge because I had a customer who wanted to list a building a number of years ago, a very big high-rise building, and at that time I think it was like at least a $10 million building. Anyways, I go to meet him there with my broker at that time, and the guy I see this bus pull up, and the guy hops out. He has like just a plain T-shirt. It has like a stain on it, and he owns this building, but he looks like complete crap. So, it just kind of, because here we were in our suits and all, even my broker came with me because he's like, oh my God, this is a very expensive building. The guy's got several others too, right? But he was just completely casual, and you wouldn't think that this guy's a multimillionaire, right? So you just never know.
All right. Hey, thank you guys so much. I know we're 90 minutes past, so we love you. That was an amazing mastermind. Debbie, I'll be meeting with you shortly, I'm sure. And if you have anything that you want to take out of this, message your coach. We'll make sure to meet with you, and we'll get you the resources you need. All right.
Thank you, everyone. Loved all the stories. It was great. See you.
Bye, everyone.